Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another recording session of Hearthstone. Let's hop in here. Let's see. Do I really want to trade out a 50 for a potential 60, 75, or 100? I guess I have to. But inherently, this is what you get. You take your chances and you potentially lose 10. So, what we need to do now is, I guess, we need 5 victories with a warlock or warrior, or rogue, or shaman. Yeah, and play 40 spells while we're at it. All right, let's look at the tavern brawl. Uh, this was a bad tavern brawl to play. Is this an arena run day? I guess it is.
Embrace the shadow.
I guess we're gonna start with an arena run here. Now, what's interesting here, because of the, I watched somebody open on YouTube. I guess I'll take this and then this. I watched somebody open a let's see, a 250 card packs for Whispers of the Old Gods. So it was a pretty old video, but in it there's something interesting that they still, purchasing 250 packs, didn't really collect every single thing that they wanted. Like, it, even for Whispers of the Old Gods, which I think only had somewhere around 80 like 80 cards in the expansion. It wasn't in a hugely large expansion. It's not like the 130 expansions that we're gonna get. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong about that. Maybe it actually is something closer to Whisper of the Old Gods was closer to 100 cards. That's a possibility, certainly, but but thinking about that and seeing how they really didn't make a great amount of progress. Well, they made a lot more progress than what I would have done usually. Just buying 50 card packs. But this is a really just stuttering and pandering and repetitive way to say, I think I want to open 100 card packs. The next expansion, I think I really want to do that. We now know, at least for the next year, there won't be an adventure. Almost certainly this is just the admission that they're not going to do adventures at all anymore. So I'd like to be up to 10,000. I'd like to be over 10,000, honestly. I'd like to be somewhere closer to 15,000. And that means pretty much don't do arena anymore. We haven't been doing arena for a while, and we just recently got back to it. But I think we're gonna kind of quickly give up on arena again. They're also changing arena, which is a issue on itself, is because now that arena is just going to be standard play, there's really no reason why I would want to do arena. And not until, in all honesty, I shouldn't be doing arena right now, because I'm not a good enough Hearthstone player to make my money back. And how you're making your money back is in dust, really, more than anything else.
The light shall bring victory.
Your soul shall be mine.
So, I suppose if I ever got good enough at this game to win 12 victories at Arena, that would be a different case, but it's just not the case right now.
Job's done.
Let's see. This is an interesting move here because I'm gonna do something like this to protect myself from attack, and then play this to not protect myself from attack. And then this will do 3 damage to my hero, and this will restore 2 damage of that. He killed his own character. Go ahead and draw another card and then attack. So I might win this. It's early to call it. I have an incredibly small amount of things to talk about too today. So let's start with talking about things that aren't actually news. I'm playing Lego Star Wars 3, the complete saga, and this will be a nice warm-up conversation for me because Lego Star Wars 3 the clone. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, that was a mistake. I should have done this instead. Didn't play well there. So yeah, Lego Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars, which I assume is based off the Clone Wars cartoon, but I refuse to really do the research here. It's almost certainly based off the Clone Wars cartoon. And that's one of the many issues I would say with it, is that you could very possibly have just made a game focused around the, let's go ahead and do this, around the cartoon itself. And if you had made it around the cartoon instead of being Lego-fied, you could have used the actual animation of the cartoon and made a better game. The game is really awful about telling you what's going on or knowing what's going on. I imagine in similar ways, if a child really didn't know what was going on in the original trilogy or the prequels of the movies, they wouldn't be fully certain what they were supposed to do in the Lego Star Wars original, like Lego Star Wars 1 and 2, which was then remastered and given it over to the complete saga as a bundle. So yeah, I kind of get that that's totally possible. I'd like to do this, but I'd also like to heal my characters. So I'm gonna hope it gets rid of these 2 characters, and it doesn't.
Why do you call?
Attack. 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 In the turn. What did he do? It's a sub term, do shield damage to this minion. Interesting. I don't think I've seen this character. The other problems with Lego Star Wars 3 is it's got 1/3 of the main game is real-time strategy games, and honestly, I think it's going to open up another section after we do the main game and give us another handful of top-down real-time strategy games in Lego form that are just awful. It's very, very bad. Unlike something where like in StarCraft you can pretty much build wherever on the map. There's very specific spots, circles of power, and around these circles of powers, which there's usually only 12 on the entire screen. On top of those, you then have the opportunity to build, I think it's like 8 different things in very specific spots. So you're not talking a lot. Should I draw another card? How much damage is this guy gonna do to me? No, I'm just gonna hold off. I might have drawn a card if I'd realized that guy was gonna die. But I think I've already won here, unless he can kill both of these guys. So, yeah, these top-down real-time strategies are just awful. They should have been left out of the game. The fly-around levels are better than the fly-around levels in the original 2 Lego Star Wars games. Slightly better, but they're still pretty awful. Well, he managed to do it. So the question is, can I do 1 more damage? And yes, I can.
They'll never know what hit them. 1 shot, 1 kill.
Victory. And what's really surprising when you know that 1/3 of the main story and probably about half the game is built around these real-time strategies that shouldn't even be in the game. Then you go play the General Grievous storylines, and those levels in particular are rather long, at 30 minutes per level. The game itself is hurting terribly by having specific levels, though. It would be so much better to just break everything up at a cutscene and just say, well, not even break anything up. Really, you just need to just have the whole game combined as one long story plot driven thing, and just make it very, very much apparent that you can pause the game, save and quit at any spot in the game. And that, as a selling point for kids, is probably really, really great. Was it really worth using the coin to play out another one of these guys? Is it even worth really playing these guys at the beginning? Well, I've got too many of these cards going on. Two big cards. So I'll play this and hopefully not lose this, and then play this and hopefully not lose this, but I still need to wait till the 3rd turn, I mean the 5th turn to play these. And see, this one has to attack, which will get rid of its divine shield and kill it. So that works out nicely for me. Also, it crashed in one of the real-time strategies, Lego Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Man, I'm too early. You can see it's 3:11 in the afternoon, which is early for me, in a crazy way. And it's just too early. My brain is not awoke. There's nothing on the news to talk about. I guess I could have played more Lego games and then come back to this, but actually that would be a bad move. In fact, last recording session I didn't even I didn't even finish the quest. Like, I had intended totally to finish the quest, but I didn't. I forgot about it, and the next day when I logged in to see what the next quest was gonna be, I was like, oops, I had just totally blanked on the fact that I didn't finish it. So I had to play extra on a day when I wasn't even recording, which takes up more time. I'm desperately trying to get through the Lego Star Wars 2 because the content ID claims are coming left and right, obviously because it's Star Wars, and I have another Star Wars game I need to play. The May month every year is ideally when I want to play Star Wars games. I probably also it's also the month I want to purchase Star Wars games because they'll be on sale for the next year, but that's kind of a diminishing return. Disney's put that hold on making Star Wars games for a little bit, and then is now slowly just renegotiating all those things and reaffirming the ones they want and getting rid of the ones they don't want. So that kind of slowed down the release of Star Wars games. Plus, with The Force Awakens, I think we're not gonna see a massive amount of old story games coming about. I imagine everything is going to be very focused on well, very much focused on, do I really need to play this guy? Let's see. Let's go ahead and do it. We're gonna lose one way or the other, so I might as well lose on my own merit. I probably could have run the numbers here and seen, like, if this one attacks here and then this two attacks here, I just that kills that guy, and then that can let him do 6 damage. So if he can do 4 more damage, he wins. See, I lost. I lost because I played that card. I wouldn't have lost if I hadn't played that card. That was my mistake 100%. And that's really a great example, probably the first example in all my years of playing Hearthstone where I've seen and made that realization myself that my action actually caused the failure. I have certainly ranted a lot in the past where it's saying this game is so random, it's so balanced, that 50% of the time you win, 50% of the time you lose, and that's how Blizzard wants it, and that's just not very fun for a person like me who plays mostly single-player games where 99% of the time you win in a single-player game.
Gul'dan versus Morgul.
So, yeah, that kind of sucks. I really don't have a ton to say about Lego Star Wars. It sucks. It's still locking up. I've really, at a certain point, came down to the thought, it's like, why am I even bothering to do the Lego series on PC? Am I just continuously shaming TT Games for making bad ports when there is this high possibility that it's not locking up for a lot of the other people, because complaints of it locking up doesn't seem to be hugely prevalent. And it happens when I'm not recording, it happens when I am recording. It seems to be very varied on, like, on who and, like, when and which game locks up more, which game locks up less. The game still crashed though, so even if all the lagging and locking up is something wrong with my particular computer setup, it doesn't excuse the crashing either. And there's nothing super special about my computer setup either, so that's not like I can mentally just dismiss that as part of it, because, like, it's not like I'm running some weirdly experimental build on a gaming PC. I'm running a high-end gaming PC that any other random PC gamer might build. There's no special chips, there's no server equipment, there's no non-consumer equipment happening here.
I'll give it a shot.
Let's just keep on doing this. Particularly with the Warlock, like this. It's easy to lower your health. The next thing I want to talk about is Skyrim. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to go, well, what's there to say about Skyrim? You've finished recording the series. Very possibly the series won't even be airing when this video airs. So what's there to talk about Skyrim? Well, the thing to talk about Skyrim is, frankly, it's just been in retrospect, a big waste of time.
Never know what
It's a shame to say it, but Skyrim, as I roughly look at views, I don't sit there and look at views left and right and see that. I don't get enough views for it to be worth my time in the day. I'd rather record content or not do anything revolving around my YouTube channel than look at views. But it certainly feels like less than...
This one's mine.
Do I want to give a person 4/4? Or do I want to do 3 damage?
This one's mine.
Trying to figure out what would be the right move. If I give this one 5 damage, it can't kill this one. If I do 3 damage to all characters...
This one's mine. I fight.
There we go. Should I draw another card? Sure, why not? Yeah, so... I did over 80 videos, easily, of at least an hour of Skyrim. I think that's right. It's got to be more than 80. I did more than 80 hours of gameplay on Skyrim. I'm fairly certain there. Let's see.
My eyes are open.
I fight.
So, like, it felt much closer to 200 hours. So I must be, maybe 80 is just what's out right now, and that means Skyrim is still gonna air. But I spent a lot of time on Skyrim, and I know for a fact that when I started it, it was mostly because I wanted to cover it and play it. And I knew that it probably wasn't going to. How did he kill my horse?
You are not the boss of me.
Like, what did you do to my horse to size a minion and then deal 1 damage to it? Wow. That sucks.
I ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Let's see.
I fight.
I'm still not ready to use this. I want to kind of save it. But it was a really, really long series. Possibly when I did FTL. Possibly when I did Binding of Isaac, the first 2 series I ever covered. Possibly when I did Plague Inc., which was, I think, one of the series I covered relatively quickly after that point. There was... I did similarly long experiences, but
I fight.
like I don't think I'm gonna do a long series like this. I'm ranting. I'm doing the opposite of ranting. I'm stuttering here. I'm just not getting the words together. But yeah, I think Skyrim may very well be the end of it. What does that say for Fallout 4? Well, if I ever do play Fallout 4, I'm gonna try to just mainline it in the similar ways, or have as natural an experience as I can of it, in consideration of my time. But I don't think I'm gonna go very, very far along with Fallout 4, and I very well may just skip a Fallout 4, and I may very well just skip a lot of things. I had a thought on Bethesda's announcements, because they said that they were working on 3 new games, and there is a possibility that one of those 3 new games may just be Fallout Shelter 2. Like cell phone game, just some, or all 3 of them may just be cell phone games. It's a possibility. It could be something very mundane as saying that they're going to work on Doom 2, which, almost certainly that's going to happen. They're going to work on Fallout 4 and Skyrim or Elder Scrolls Online, which all are just obvious things, really. And we haven't really gotten anywhere, and I was able to stretch an entire recording and almost an entire arena run into the recording. That's going to be it for this recording, though. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.